First of all, I've got to give a shout out to UTD Menace on X, who has been very, very good around Man United injuries over the last 12 months. I did something yesterday about how the expectation is that Luke Shaw will be back for the Southampton game, and Rasmus is very, very close. We know that. But pretty much straight away, the feedback out was that that is not the case. That is not the feedback from United's medical staff, that Luke Shaw will be back for Southampton. We don't know how long after Southampton it's predicted he's going to be out, but certainly the expectation that he'll be back starting a week on Saturday for Manchester United has been met with quite a blank no. At the moment. Now, miracles can happen. I wouldn't say miracles happen with Luke Shaw and his fitness, so maybe we should be taking this as a major setback. Whether it's a major setback, whether it's part of the initial plan or not, I think Manchester United Football Club have protected Luke Shaw really well since this injury, and probably because they have to. The bottom line is he's not played since February. The bottom line is he got himself fit to go and play in the Euros for England. He prioritised England over Manchester United at major risk to his reputation as a Man United player. He didn't even play a game until the final. I think it's very, very obvious that the risk factor of going to England in the summer was ridiculous. I think everybody from Sir Jim Radcliffe down needs to be looking at that, because any Man United fan would have told you, as they did in late May, a lot of you said, why is he doing this? I wasn't one of those. I've got to admit, I was like, look, you've got to trust the science. If they're saying he's fit, he's fit. But it became very, very clear very quickly that he wasn't fit. My assumption was that he just missed out on the FA Cup final. He hadn't just missed out on the FA Cup final. He wasn't training for 3 or 4 weeks with England after that. So he never should have gone. Man United have got a role to play in that. He gets back fit for the final, and then he's not fit for the start of the season for Man United. It comes out that it's a bit of a setback, but the expectation is he'll be back after the international break. And I think a lot of us thought, well, international break is Southampton. Back after the international break doesn't mean Southampton by the sounds of it. It means back after the international break. Which international break? Well, there's one in October and there's one in November. I don't think that's what they mean. I think they expect him back at some point between Southampton a week on Saturday and Aston Villa in a month. I think that is where they're expecting him back, which means he could miss the first 2 months of the season. I've already got my charity bet that he'll get injured again before Christmas as well. So yeah, it's a problematic, and it feeds into it feeds into two things, doesn't it? One, why didn't we buy a left back? And again, you know, sometimes this is why I always say, don't beat yourself up and put yourself down when it comes to opinion. I mean, I'm sure you don't. You probably pick up a newspaper or go online multiple times a day, listen to so-called experts and go, I know more than them. And you do. But many of you said Luke Shaw should not have gone to England. He shouldn't, and he would be fit for us now. That is, nobody can tell me I'm wrong, but categorically you're telling me if Luke Shaw, who'd nearly recovered from his injury at the end of last season, had had a holiday and a proper pre-season, he wouldn't have been fit for the start of the season. He might be injured now, but he would have been ready for the start of the season. Many of you said he shouldn't have gone to England. You were right. And many of you said we should have bought a left back, and you were right. Liverpool destroyed us on Sunday. Absolutely destroyed us. But they absolutely destroyed us down our left-hand side as well. Mo Salah got 2 assists and a goal. The Diaz goal came obviously from the cross on that side. Mo Salah's, the third goal, that was obviously Mo Salah scoring. So they got in down our left-hand side more than they got in down the right. And we've left ourselves exposed in that position. And yes, there's a lot of positive things going on, but this is totally preventable. And it's an embarrassment for United. And they have done a very good job of keeping this quiet. And the media, probably because he's a British player, have kept it quiet as well. But this is a huge, huge issue for Manchester United now. And every game we play, everywhere we go, the opposition know we're weak down the left-hand side. Rashford doesn't track back. I think that's tactical from Ten Hag. And you've got a stand-in left-back. I mean, hold on a minute. I'm the manager of Southampton. I'm the manager of Crystal Palace. I'm the manager of Spurs. I'm the manager of Villa. I know the left winger's not tracking back, and I know the left-back's not very good. We are right back, Matty Cash for Villa, Pedro Porro for Spurs, whoever it is for Crystal Palace and Southampton, right back, get forward. Get forward, overload Dalot, because he's not a left back, and the right winger, get at him. Overlaps the lot, swamp them, because that's where their weakness is. And we're going into more games after the international break in the same situation. I think a fit Luke Shaw doesn't need Marcus Rashford to track back much, because he has an amazing engine and he's an amazing left back. But the fact that we're now looking at this and he's not going to be back fit for Southampton. I mean, look, miracles could happen, but the feedback when I said that yesterday straight away was that with Luke Shaw, it's been laughed at that he will be back for Southampton. That worries me. That worries me that the handbrake has been put onto that story straight away. That Rasmus will be back, Luke Shaw's expected back, and instantly it's come out that Luke Shaw will not be back for that Southampton game and is not expected to be back. So again, I think from United, that's just a very quick step to manage expectations. But it's a big concern. Of course it is. Massive concern for Manchester United. Jared says, for the first time, United Stand isn't talking about Sancho. I don't think we've spoken about Jadon Sancho hardly ever over the summer, and certainly in the last few days. Big players are letting us down. That's the problem, says Jordan. I think people seem to forget that it's only our third game. The new players need to get gel in and give it time, people, says Jordan. Well, we'll talk about what Fabrizio said about Ten Hag in a few minutes' time, but he did say that one of the key impact factors for Ineos is to assess Erik Ten Hag when he's got all his new signings available. Yoro's injured, Agate's not here yet, Rasmus has been injured, Mount is injured, Luke Shaw is injured. The problem is, from Erik Ten Hag's point of view, you've just lost 2 of your first 3 games. You come back after the international break. You don't know whether you've picked up any more injuries. We've got a lot of players travelling all around the world playing 2 games early in the season, so we could pick up other injuries. On top of that, when you come back, he's not going to have Mason Mount back, he's not going to have Lenny Yoro back, and he's not going to have Luke Shaw back. So realistically, Rasmus probably won't start either. So nobody's back, and Agate is his new signing that has all the pressure. So it's difficult. It's really, really difficult. I think it's difficult for any football team to not play with a proper right back and a proper left back anyway. We're talking about high-end Premier League football. Most teams, I mean, you look at somebody like Fulham when they came to Old Trafford, their right winger is Adama Traore. He's a good winger. Most teams have good front threes, whether they are Fulham, Crystal Palace, or Ipswich. They're capable of doing things in a balanced way, and it's very disappointing. But Goldbridge, that's the end of the clip. I'm sure you enjoyed it. In fact, I bet that's the best clip you've ever watched. So there's no reason not to subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon so you never miss a clip again. In fact, smash a like on the video, because we all know only legends like videos, and you are all legends. So please smash a like on the video, and we will see you again on the next one. Thank you very much for watching, as always.